interesting that I was talking to some of the people that he works with about his nomination, and which is related to his work on what's called the Lyndale Community School walking school bus. Almost everybody to his T said, I know Scott doesn't want to be up there by himself, but he deserves it. He really deserves it. So a few years ago, there were a change in the school boundaries, and Lyndale Community School became the community school for the area that Scott lives in, which is in the Kingfield neighborhood. And around that time, Scott, if I hope I'm telling the story right, decided that he wanted to find a way to really embrace this change and bring some of his values to the kids that he was working with and his own kids, and create a culture of walking to school. You have your community school, it's a few blocks away. Oftentimes, folks don't even take that opportunity to walk. And what could help them walk? What could help them do that? And there was a concept that was floating around. I'll tell you, I talked about it with the mayor several years ago when Safe Routes to School, which is a federal funding program, there's also a state component to that, was coming out, and there was talk about walking school buses that different communities had around the country. And a lot of people said, and the mayor too, boy, that sounds really cool. What does that really, what does it mean though? What does it mean to be a walking school bus? Well, Scott put together a grant and for a walking school bus, and became one of 25 sites over the country that was awarded this grant in 2010 that was the major momentum behind the walking school bus and getting that going. So Scott not only had the vision to make this happen, he has been the workhorse that has made this happen. He organized his neighbors, he inspired the young people around him, and to this day I know that he is on the phone at least weekly, probably daily, to organize adult volunteers, to make reminder calls to students at home, to get people inspired and engaged. And I am going to turn this mic over to Scott because I know that he can articulate so many things that we get out of walking to school, but environmental benefits, healthy benefits, community benefits. He can say it much better than I can, but I wanted to mention that we have one of the assistant principals from Lyndale Community School, and maybe I'll just ask her to come forward.
I'm Renee James. I'm the assistant principal at Lyndale School, and I just cannot express to you how important Mr. Bordon's vision, his passion for the city, not only our school, but he always talks to me about the city and how healthy it needs to be. He'll do whatever it takes. He always says, I'll do whatever it takes to make this a healthy community for our children who are our future. So, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here, and it's an honor to receive this award on behalf of the parents and grandparents and students and teachers and staff at Lyndale Community School. It's also a great honor to be here amongst many of our community elders who work hard on behalf of civil rights in the city and on behalf of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and King Park. Lyndale School is a great place in my heart, and so is King Park. That's my family's park. Thank you, Councilmember Glidden, because you walked with us on the walking school bus. I know you're a great supporter of pedestrian and bicycle improvements in the city. And this really, I'm glad that you invited Assistant Principal Renee James up, because I was actually going to do that, because this really was a collaborative effort. We have a tremendous principal at our school, Principal Ossie Brooks James, and wonderful teachers there and bilingual family support staff. Mayor Ryback has walked with us. Minneapolis Public Schools, I'd like to recognize Julie Danzel from Safe Routes to School. She's been a tremendous support and encouraging. So I think Elizabeth explained a walking school bus. Does everybody understand what a walking school bus is? Rather than ride a yellow school bus to school, kids walk to school bus. And I started a group 3 years ago that started with 6 girls that committed to walking to school every day throughout the winter. We have parent volunteers that carry stop paddles and safety vests and act as the driver, if you will. These kids all qualified for a school bus. There were some obstacles to walking to school, and I wanted to try to remove them, so I walked them to school. Well, with the support of the principal and staff, we expanded our efforts wider through the school. And now I really have to thank my wife. She's not here because this morning, so that I could be here, she's leading my school bus. So now that group of 6 girls, I want to emphasize girls, because girls are strong, that group has grown to 30 kids that now walk to school on a regular basis. That's just one of our routes. So there's all sorts of benefits to walking: environmental, health for kids, teaching kids responsibility. It strengthens our neighborhood, and it's been a great way to market our school. And I just have to take this opportunity because part of walking to school was also a direct and intentional step to break the economic and racial isolation that our students were in at Lyndale Community School. The fact of the matter is that Lyndale, 3 years ago, Lyndale Community School was a school of 90% students of color, 90% free and reduced lunch. About half the students were English language learners, many children whose parents were from Somalia or Spanish-speaking nations. And the fact of the matter is that our school choice system and individual parental decisions left Lyndale, which is in an economically and culturally integrated, diverse, richly diverse, a great part of our city. The kids were isolated. And some parents that I know, we took a look at this, we took a look at our own individual decisions, and we decided to, I know people are apprehensive about boundary changes. Our neighborhood went through a school boundary change, and we decided we're not going to complain about it, we're not going to flee it, we're going to make it work. And it was easy to do because of the teachers and principals and staff at the school. So walking to school was really, again, an intentional step to say, hey, we're going to embrace that high poverty school down the street, and we're going to make this work, not only for for our own children, but all of the children at that school. And I got to say that what started as a time of uncertainty really became a blessing, because our kids are thriving. There's more than 100 kids at the school, additional kids at the school, and parents have really embraced the school that years ago they wouldn't have. So I want to thank all the people that have been supportive for that. I could talk all day long, because I'm just going to close with this. 2 last things. Is like, I feel embarrassed sometimes talking about walking to school because it's such a simple thing, but really we have a very car-dominated culture, and it just goes so far. Shows how far things have gone, and I could talk about this that long, but walking is a simple thing that almost everybody can do, so I would encourage you to walk to King Park, to walk to your school, to walk to your local businesses, and encourage our city's leaders to continue their great leadership in making this city a more walkable and bikeable place to live. Thank you so much, everyone.